Hello angels, or should I say angels, Aryan angels. As we have the new astrological year coming up, starting with you, Aries, I thought I'd try something different. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to pick a card for you as a significator, and then I'm going to be looking at what's behind you and also what's in front of you, and then we'll be looking at sort of dominant themes for each month for the next astrological year. Also, what I'm going to do is try and break it down a little bit more, because we have influences, like universal influences affecting all of us, and then we'll have something, we'll break it down maybe by element and by zodiac sign. I'm trying to break it down a little bit further. So if we break it down into the decans of each zodiac sign, there'll be 3 for each sign. Let's see if there's much difference depending which part of the zodiac Aries you come under, so first, second or third decan, and it could be that there's overarching themes across all of them. I'm sure that's the case, but it's just an opportunity to drill down just a little bit lower and see if we can get something that's a little bit more close to something personal. So I've raked the space, cleansed the space. We'll start off with the significator for you. So this is for Aries born between the 21st of March and the 30th of March. Also, across the astrological signs you get, different opinions on, where each begins and ends date-wise, just a day out here and there, and the decans within that. But you check as you feel appropriate. You probably already know where you feel comfortable. So let's go with Aries first decan. Let's get a significator for the first decan for Aries, please. So we have the Ace of Wands that's representing you at the moment. So this is, like a start of something, wands signify passion, creativity, instinct. They're fiery, which is obviously your element. They can be impulsive, passionate, temperamental. But yeah, as the Ace, it's sort of starting out on some journey here. It could be some passion project that you're starting out. Let's just see. We'll pull a card to see what's behind you. See if that can give us a little more. But I would say this is exciting, because if you think about it, we're at the beginning of the astrological year. You're the first sign of the zodiac, and you've got an Ace, which is the start of something. So it sounds like you could be very positive energy as you go in. You are in your power as we start the astrological year anyway, and so it just seems like a very good time to start something. So let's get what's behind Aries decan. So we have the 9 of Hearts there, which is the 9 of Cups. So this is emotions, things like that. So I mean, the 9 of Cups, if you think of the Rider-Waite, is somebody who's actually doing quite well. It's almost at the end of a cycle. It's 9, not quite a 10, but that's somebody who's quite satisfied and perhaps achieved something on their own. So it could be that you came to the end of something and now you're starting something fresh. So let's see what's what's ahead of you, just broadly. So we've got the After Tarot to find out what's ahead of the first decan Aries. Oh, that's flipped. That was very keen to flip out. So we actually got the 4 of Wands. So this is very exciting. I think very positive looking cards for you. And this is stability coming, and I think it's interesting that you've got, because I haven't sort of dictated at what point in the future, like I said, we're going to break it down month by month, but you've got the Ace of Wands and then you've gone to the 4 of Wands, so that's ahead. So I think whatever you're starting is going to get to a point where it's really stable and fulfilling for you. So now let's take a look at what is happening month by month for first DECAN Aries. So we're going to start with April, because that's the next sort of full month we're coming into, and then we'll just deal them all out. So here we go. So we have April, May, June, July, August, September, October, November, December, and we've got January 2024, February, and March. So I'm going to turn these over one by one and take a look at what is going on for you. So April coming up. Okay, we've got the Ten of Swords here. So this is the end of a painful cycle. And again, perhaps this is all, you know, feeding in nicely. You're starting out with something afresh. So the swords can be, you know, ideas. It can be something, it can be, you know, something logical. It could be that you're, you know, you've moved on, and it could be kind of a mindset, something like that. You could be leaving that behind. It could be you've learned something about yourself, and you think, okay, this is something that I want to leave behind me. This is in April. So as we come into May, then you've got the Seven of Swords. So this is somebody kind of moving away from something again, but you know, this is somebody strategically avoiding maybe some confrontation or some sort of battle that perhaps is not worth fighting, something like that. So this is as we're going into May. And this could be even some learning coming from here, where you've got the Ten of Swords. It could be, okay, you know, from April you put that kind of thing behind you. So as you come into May, you're kind of, okay, I'm not actually going to get to that point where things get tough and painful. Perhaps let's just make sure we don't get to that point. Let's kind of avoid these clashes. So we've got June, Seven of Pentacles for June, Eight of Pentacles, sorry. So this could be, this is where you're working hard. This is where you're focusing on your money and those things that are tangible, you know, your work life, those sorts of things. So it could be, like I say, you've moved on a lot. You've finished something off in April. You've moved on to how you handle those sorts of things in May, and then in June you're actually focusing on building money, wealth, stability, what have you. And now we've got July. We have the Four of Wands again, which is lovely. This is a celebration. So you know, it did say that this was ahead of you, and actually, yeah, I did say, I wasn't sort of saying specifically how far ahead, but if you're looking, you know, June, it's coming. And so getting from the Ace of Wands to the Four of Wands in June, that's not too long to wait, is it? And I think this is down to your focus here. To me, this is what I'm seeing. So negativity aside, focus, and actually you're getting to, you know, this wonderful place that we all would like to be, really, I think. So July, we have Wheel of Fortune. And so this is lovely. This is obviously Major Arcana. This is, you know, I mean, but it does say the wheel could go one way or the other, but I always feel like it's good fortune. I think sometimes, you know, you put the work in, you put the dedication in, and sometimes you just get a little helping hand from the universe that makes things a little bit easier, and you kind of put it out there, what you're trying to achieve. And I think this is when these things come in. This is when you attract it. You've made the effort, and then you get a little bit of luck coming your way as well. So that's July. August, we have another 10. So this is another, you know, this is pushing burdens. This is kind of, again, the end of a tough cycle. These burdens, as this person is pushing these aside and coming to clarity. It looks like they've been you know, potentially harvesting in the fields all day, and this is actually getting close to the end of that. So sometimes things can get a little bit tougher before you reach your reward. But it's all looking, again, it's like the end of those sort of difficult phases. So we've now got, is this October? Yeah, so October we've got the Three of Swords. So again, this is something painful. This is something that hurt. But you know, you've got, this is a wounded heart, but it's not a currently bleeding heart. So I think, you know, most of us have been through something that's wounded us, but we kind of live with those wounds, we live with those scars. It could be that, you know, perhaps things are going swimmingly here, and perhaps, I mean, you perhaps haven't paid attention to this aspect of your life. There could be something here, or it just could be that something rears up again, or that, you know, you're doing well over here, and sometimes people aren't very happy about that. They're not always happy for other people, or perhaps it affects them, or perhaps they perceive that it affects them. So it could be that there's you know, a little bit of disappointment there. We'll see. We'll move on. So we have November. We have Judgment. So I think this is, again, it's it's major arcana, so it will trump this. It could be, I mean, this could even be caused by the Three of Swords. Could be some sort of envy, or you know, like I say, someone's perception of how you're doing that's affecting them and making them a little bit unhappy. But Judgment is, you know, this is going to override all of that, because this is you know, answering the call. This is what matters, basically. This is kind of, you know, I think you've earned something positive, and this is saying this is how it goes. And unfortunately, sometimes, you know, people don't always have your best interest. Sometimes you know, they feel like you're taking away something from them, and and unfortunately we also allow that to hold us back. So I think it's really important that you don't. So hopefully, as we unfold this, that we're going to find that that's not the case. So let's look into December. So it could be some regret. It could be that, you know, maybe you had to sort of let someone go, or put something behind you. Maybe even you were put into this position. Maybe there was something external, you know, something the universe engineered, or, you know, something like that. Just something that was outside your control. That meant, you know, there's a little bit of sadness, there's a little bit of regret, there's something to leave behind. Sometimes that's how we fly. It's like, you know, sometimes there's things that belong in the past, and if we try and cling to them, they're going to stop us moving forward. So let's go into January. So this is the beginning of next year, January 2024. So we've got Strength. So this could be, you know, having to, you know, let go of some of these things. Like you see, you know, you've got these spilled cups, and it happens to all of us. You know, we have regrets. We wish things didn't go the way they did, but you've got two cups standing behind them that, you know, this person just needs to turn and see and remember, you know, these are the positives. Okay, I do have that ahead of me. And sometimes you have to exercise a little bit of strength as well, and control, and again, I mean, it's not just exercising strength. There's a way of exercising it. It's not brutal, it's not forceful, it's not aggressive, it's sort of diplomatic. It's kind of maybe a recognition of, you know, again, sometimes things that are outside your control, and just waiting for things to unfold. So for February, we have Ace of Cups. So new start, you know, in terms of emotions, those sorts of things. So, I mean, it could be that, you know, if these were sort of emotional situations with your Three of Swords and your Five of Cups You've now got the Ace of Cups, you've got the start of a new emotional cycle, and perhaps that's what this strength was all about. It's just, okay, you know, things will work out, you know, they always do, and sometimes you do have to go through a painful ending for that to happen. So let's have a look at March. So we've got the Page of Pentacles. So this could be a person, I mean, it could be news coming in for you in terms of money or work or something like that. Something material, certainly. Or it could represent you. It just could be, you know, you having a kind of more sort of youthful, open-minded focus. So, you know, you've got that, I don't think innocence is quite the word, but you know, like just that open-mindedness, that fresh start. You know, you sort of let these wounds go, and it could be this Ace of Cups influencing that. I mean, that can give you a lightness of being, can't it? So if we review this again, we've got you as the Ace of Wands. So you're definitely starting out on something, you know, something that you're passionate about, something creative for you, something that you know, really want to make your focus as we start this new astrological year, so basically April until March of next year. Then you've got behind you, you've got your Nine of Cups, so it's almost like you already achieved something, you're already well on the way. Hopefully that's what's buoying you up to be optimistic. And then ahead of you, you've got this Four of Wands. So this is actually achieving something stable. So you are definitely moving and shaking, shall we say, and on the path. And of course you are, you know, you're the leader of the tarot, you're the first one of the tarot, you are a bit pioneering, and this is why I thought I'm happy with you. Hopefully you are with me trying this out with you guys and seeing if it works and seeing if it breaks down well, those sorts of things. And just to recap, you've got the end of a painful cycle here. You perhaps got a bit of transition there as well, moving into a new way of being in terms of how you're handling, you know, logic and intellect, those sorts of things. You're focusing on building your, you know, your material situation, and it doesn't have to kind of just mean money, but it you know, it's security, it's stability. Sometimes it can be your own personal security and what comes within you, that sort of comfort. And then you've got this Four of Wands repeated, like I say, in only 4 months time. And so, you know, this is really positive because you're well and truly on the way to that. You've got Wheel of Fortune stepping in. I think you're going to have some lovely shifts in your favour, and this is going to be the end of more, you know, difficulty and burden. Like I say, might be painful, might have some sort of difficulty, or might bring up something painful from the past, but Judgment is stepping in here as well. So this is where you've got all the major arcana dipping in. So you that is making sure that you know, you get what's yours in the best possible way. I think this is in your favour, most definitely. I don't see it as otherwise. And then but I suppose, you know, we all have free will, so it could be that, okay, you know, a great opportunity is coming my way and I have to let go of something, I have to leave that behind, and it makes me a little bit sad. It could even be people you've been working with and you like them, but you know that you've outgrown that situation, and you know, for you to grow your own personal opportunities, which we all need to do, we all do need to try and recognize what opportunities for us, and sometimes it's our turn to be, you know, racing forward, and sometimes it's other people's, and so we you know, sometimes they can't come along with us all of the way, and that's just how it is. But there is positivity behind this person, and then you've got strength, and it could be that just a little bit of strength is required towards the end of the year. And I think also, I mean, sometimes that can happen. It's like you come to the end of the calendar year, not the astrological year, and I think you can reflect. I think sometimes you reflect and think about how the year went, and sometimes it can be a little bit, you know, sort of sometimes it's just actually, you know, if you've been working hard as well, which I think you are, this is perhaps the first time you have to kind of look back and have a bit of a break and think, okay, you know, this was good, this not so good, and you've got the strength to get you through that. And as we're coming into the new calendar year, you've got that Ace of Cups to look forward to. That's a lovely start to the year. That's the beginning of everything. It's a gift. Again, it's an opportunity. And the Page of Pentacles as well, I'm seeing that as a gift or a message. So I think, like I say, you know, this is really positive. You're on your path. I think you're comfortable on your path. You've got a couple of hiccups, which is probably, you know, inevitable, and then you've got all this lovely new stuff coming in, and it's going to be on a plate for you, I think. And you've deserved it. I think you know, like I say, you created your own opportunities, and then other opportunities are coming for you because you've drawn them to you. So best of luck, Aries. Really hope this is a good reading for you, and look forward to catching up soon. Thank you. Bye.